We're talking about Daredevil and how he's allowed Bullseye to live and why he's regretted that, because he keeps killing. It's a cost that Matt Murdock has to keep paying. But before we get into that cost, we gotta talk about Daredevil's connection to the assassin Elektra. One day, Daredevil was looking for information on this thief that was witness to a murder. Daredevil is trying to find him so that the person he's representing as Matt Murdock doesn't go down for a murder that he didn't commit. Daredevil hits up Turk, a known henchman, and Snitch for information. Then some dude hits him with a makeshift bomb. Daredevil walks dude down, but since he got hit with that bomb, his senses are fucked up and he doesn't realize someone's there. My man gets hit in the back of the head with the side and has to deal with the jump kick. This woman in red is putting the beats on him, and she's taking away his attacker because there's a bounty on the dude that Daredevil's looking for, and she intends to collect on that. When Daredevil hears her speak, he realizes who she is. She's Elektra. He first ran into Elektra back in college when him and Foggy were going up some stairs and Foggy drops his books by accident. She's the daughter of a diplomat and he could not get her out of his head after meeting her. Problem is, she's always followed around by a bodyguard, so he had to have Foggy help him dupe the bodyguard so that Matt could put the Mac on Elektra, and he surprises her with the rose. Elektra recognizes him from the steps, and she's kind of lonely because she's the daughter of a diplomat, so she doesn't really have friends and she always has her security guard around. Matt invites her to a game and she's like, with you. I mean, I don't mean to offend, but you know what I mean. And Matt's like, yeah, I know what you mean. My blindness is a handicap between us. Elektra had Matt going to the high Q bars like there's a giant wall in front of me. And this wall I can't move. But Matt says, you know what? My dad said you always gotta take a chance. I'm not gonna let this chance go by. And he says, hey, Olive Oil, in this country, you gotta give a guy a chance first. And he does a flip over her. My man just exposed that, yeah, I might be blind, but there's a lot more to me. Very flamboyantly, I might add. The power of Matt Murdock. Elektra's like, what the fuck? How did you do that? And then Matt Murdock starts explaining to her what happened to him as a kid. He hasn't really told anyone about that either. And she says, you know what? I like the story and I want to hear more. You pick me up at 8 tonight, Four Eyes. Her bodyguard comes back and Matt's like, all right, cool. Look at how he dips away. Look at how he dips away. That's my guy right there, and I'm gonna stand beside him. This blossoms into a first love for the both of them, and it's like euphoric for this entire year. It's going beautifully, swimmingly. But Elektra's dad is a diplomat, and one day there's a hostage situation where he's captured, and so is Elektra. Matt throws on that red do-rag over the face and goes in to help. My man Matt Murdock taking out gunmen left and right. Matt senses who's in the next room. He's like, alright, there's 3 left. One has a gun on Elektra. I gotta count on her skill for this as well. And he shouts out to her, hey, hit him low, Olive Oil, and my man goes into attack and she hits her attacker. They're a great team together, but Matt miscalculated when he knocked his attacker down and he's backing out the window when he gets knocked out through the window. So the police outside are like, oh man, they're killing the hostages. We need just one clear shot. Elektra and Matt are on the ground and Matt's telling Elektra's father, no sir, stay down, because he's by the window. Gets nailed by a police bullet. 3 of them. Elektra is devastated at the loss of her father. Matt's with her at the funeral. She never cries. And this is where Elektra has become disillusioned. She's like, I can't continue to study laws I don't believe in anymore. Matt's trying to convince her to stay, but this is where their paths are going to diverge. She tells Matt, I'm not as strong as you. The world keeps beating you down and you keep getting back up. That ain't for me. This is where we part. Daredevil wakes up like, oh shit, Elektra, that's her. And he's reminiscing like, oh man, I haven't thought of her in so long. Oh look, she bandaged my arm. I would have probably bled out if she didn't. He realizes, yeah, I kept busy with my career, and Daredevil, she went to Europe then. She became a bounty hunter. She's everything I despise now. But still, that's the woman that bandaged my arm. She's bitter and lonely, but she's striking back at the world that took away her dad. That's the purpose she has now. And through it all, she's still the first woman I ever loved. But now, I gotta go against her. We then jump to Elektra, who's trying to collect on that bounty, and she's taking down a bunch of henchmen. Your girl is doing the Lord's work right now, too. Everybody catching W2 forms until she gets hit with a trank dart, which fucks up her senses and everything. Daredevil arrives on the scene and he's whooping ass. And then he sees she's a hostage again, held at gunpoint, just like she was all those years ago. Daredevil chills and dude tells him turn around and walk. And he's like, okay, I know what he's gonna do. He's gonna point the gun at me and kill me first and then kill Elektra. I gotta rely on her skill and her memory. And he walks backwards and then he throws his baton back and shouts out, hit him low, Olive Oil. Same words he said to her back in that old hostage situation when they were 20. Elektra snaps to, hits dude in the stomach. The baton bounces off the side and nails dude in the back of the head, and she realizes, oh shit, Daredevil, Matt, that's you. They kiss. Daredevil takes dude to be his witness, and for the first time, She cries. Now, your girl is still an assassin. That's her occupation right now. And she's had many more run-ins with Daredevil since she's gotten into town. She's been an adversary for Matt, but she's also had his back, like when a hit got put out on him by the Hand. Elektra had heard about it, and she prevented it from happening multiple times. A part of her knew, man, I should just let this rock. This shit don't involve me, but she still intervened. And this was an ongoing hit, too. They even threw like a Molotov cocktail into dude's apartment, and it went off. And it caused Matt's radar to get fucked up, where he was truly blind. Like, he wasn't seeing a damn thing and was still running out as Daredevil. At one point he's out whooping ass like, all right, cool, I still got it. My radar ain't working, but I'm still me, not realizing that the reason he survived was because Elektra was there. And it gets pointed out to him later like, yo, who was that woman that was here? He's like, wait, there was a woman here? Ah, shit, Elektra. Matt was trying to get more info from Elektra on like, yo, why was there a hit put out on Matt Murdock? I know the shit I was doing as Daredevil, and I'd be running wild, but the fuck, my alter ego? Elektra was like, man, that shit ain't my business. And Matt Murdock was telling her, yo, also my radar, that shit's gone. And Elektra told him, again, not my business. And my man was trying to mac up on Elektra. Mind you, he is seeing someone else. And Elektra tells him, get the fuck out, by kicking his ass out. Had that man hanging on a ledge like, oh, she hates me. She hates my guts. When Daredevil goes into a scrap with his radar half-cocked again, she saves his life because he was laid out. He won, but he was laid out and losing mad blood, so she makes another tourniquet for him. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, she's helping him out, but she still has her own agenda and pays her bills by being the Kingpin's top assassin. Because remember, Bullseye's out the picture. He's locked up. When Ben Urich was going to write a piece to take down this candidate for mayor, she killed his informant and told him, yo, you should drop that piece because my employer will really appreciate it. Otherwise, I might end up like your boy here. Ben told Matt about it. He scrapped with Elektra over it, and she put the beats on that man again. She even set a bear trap for his ass and told him, you're lucky I didn't set it to sever your foot. I would have, but... And Ben Urich was there taking pictures like, oh shit, this shit crazy. And he went to run, but he's a smoker, so he didn't get far, and she sent a side right through his back, wounding him. Elektra don't fuck around at all. And her next assignment from the Kingpin was to kill Matt Murdock's partner and best friend, Foggy Nelson. Meanwhile, Bullseye had that operation to get that tumor out of his head, but he's get these severe headaches though. One day when he's in the prison yard, he runs into the Punisher, and the Punisher tells him, hey, by the way, Kingpin's got a new top assassin. Bullseye's like, the fuck? There's no loyalty. What the hell? And also, why are you telling me this? What do you care? Punisher's like, I don't care, but I mean, it's gonna make a mess. That I'm interested to see. So Bullseye's like, all right. It should also be noted that there's this guard that gives him pills whenever he goes through these like migraines, these severe migraines he gets. Bullseye has to lock up his arms, and then the guy comes over all slow, like, okay. He's like, yo, come on, this is killing me. He's like, yeah, and then gives him the pills. Bullseye was also seeing this like therapist or counselor, right? And they set up this whole like TV interview thing to go into like the mind of a killer. Long story short, he's able to escape. And when he gets a gun, he sees that guard, and the guard's like, whoa, wait, Bullseye. And Bullseye's like, yeah, bang, kills him dead. So Bullseye escapes, and he goes to get information on where Elektra's going to be at. Slaughter is the dude that gives him the information, and Slaughter has a file on Matt Murdock because he was representing a certain client. So Bullseye goes and he does his homework on Matt Murdock, and then he has this thought like, yo, wait a minute, I see he's had mad run-ins with Daredevil, and he kind of looks like Daredevil. Then he realizes, oh, Matt Murdock's blind, and he just fucking laughs it off to himself. Meanwhile, we cut to Foggy Nelson catching a cab. What he doesn't realize is this is the last cab he's ever going to catch because Elektra's the driver. And she's telling him, yo, I'm going to kill you, but don't worry, you're not going to feel any pain. She told that man straight up, hey, Mr. Nelson, I've been hired to kill you, as soon as he got in the cab. And Foggy's like, yo, the fuck I even do? Why are you doing this? Wait a minute. I know you. You are Matt's girl, Elektra. What the fuck? I sat behind you in criminal law. What's going on here? And remember, Foggy Nelson's the reason that Matt and Elektra even met, because he's the one that dropped Matt's books by accident when she was coming down the stairs. And Elektra just has this moment, and she's like, get out of here, man. And she lets him go. Elektra's collecting her thoughts, and we see Bullseye step out the shadows holding the Mauser. Elektra's well aware. Your girl hits a backward kip up to upkick this man in the face. First and foremost, you hit me with a kick like this from down low. You got it. Elektra disarms the gun from him and then hits him with the butt end of her side. She goes to give him a dragon kick, but he ducks it and she hits a car windshield instead. But that don't matter. She just swings around and cracks Bullseye straight up in the back. Look at that man. Look at that man's spine. She is stunting on this man. Heavy. This dude said, criminy, she is good. When you're saying criminy during a fight, like, you getting your shit rocked. Elektra's gone. He's like, okay, She's a ninja. She's going to use the darkness to her advantage. So, and right as she's about to strike, he cracks her across the face. Now, we always talk about Bullseye excelling at mid-range and long-range, especially with projectiles. He's not a pretty fighter in close quarters combat, but he can still fight. Dude is still an innovator of violence because he grabs Elektra by the hair, pulls down, and falls down so her chin is right over his knee, driving it up. That's the wildest knee I think I might have ever seen in comics. That shit dirty and genius at the same time. Elektra's woozy as fuck, but she's still able to strike and cut him across the face, and then she dives on top of him, but Bullseye's able to kick her away. But Elektra's not done. She upkicks that man in the face, takes off the scarf, and uses it to wrap it around his neck. Because if you want to fight dirty, okay, let's get fucking dirty then. But Bullseye knows he ain't gonna last long, so he clocks her across the face, gets some distance, and tells her, okay, you're good. You're really good. But me, takes out a card from underneath his boot. I'm magic. He sends that card at Elektra, and it slices her throat, and she's laid out on the floor. And as she goes to get up, he grabs her sai and says, now, for my next trick. He then impales Elektra with her own sai. She is bleeding out, but she's still stumbling to her feet. He's putting on his jacket like, okay, well, I think the job's done, but sees she's still going, and she makes her way out into the street. She makes her way to the brownstone and calls out for Matt, and Matt opens the door to see Elektra dying on his front steps. Matt takes her in his arms, and she dies. And there's a crowd around watching this. Bullseye is in that crowd. We then see Matt Murdock and Foggy Nelson at the morgue with Elektra's body. Bullseye is there too. Bullseye can't shake the feeling that he can somehow use Matt Murdock to kill Daredevil. Then this dude asks Bullseye, hey, wait a minute, I don't recognize you. He's like, oh, I'm taking over for somebody. And Bullseye sees Matt Murdock jump once he speaks, as if he recognizes Bullseye's voice. And now that idea that Matt Murdock might be Daredevil doesn't seem so crazy. Matt turns his back as if to ignore Bullseye, and Bullseye's like, okay, I want to try something here. No harm in finding out. And he takes a small little knife and just tosses at Matt Murdock. Matt blocks it with his cane like it's nothing, and Bullseye's like, all right, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Okay, his cover is blown. He let me know he is Daredevil right then and there. We then see Bullseye in the Kingpin's office like, oh yeah, I killed your replacement for me. I'm back. Anyway, crazy story. Follow me with this. I think Matt Murdock, that blind lawyer, is Daredevil. And he's going over the files from when Matt was a kid with that radioisotope that hit him in the eyes. And it was said that he heard things that he shouldn't be hearing, right? Like from yards, miles away. Bullseye is connecting all the dots. And then he's getting to his father as well. And Kingpin's like, yo, we're done. I ain't trying to hear all this. It's a crazy story. I just want Daredevil's body. You want to be my chief assassin again? Bring me his body. So Bullseye breaks into Matt Murdock's residence, and he hears Matt going over some law things. He's like, okay, cool. He's got that Mauser out again. He's gonna put one in Matt's head. But then Daredevil gets a drop on him. He hits him with a mean backhand. You can see how much swing he put into that hit, because my man is in V formation right now. And look at Bullseye's body. Hit that man so hard he's giving himself a German suplex. Look at the bridge. And then Bullseye realizes, oh fuck, he duped me. Made me look fucking stupid, because they can't clearly be the same guy because they're both here. Somehow Daredevil must have switched places with Matt Murdock at the morgue. What he doesn't know is that Matt set up a literal dummy and a tape recording of his voice to make it look like he's there. Bullseye's like, alright, I gotta get out of here and change the terrain, because you probably know this place too well. And I love how he's fleeing and still able to just send things Daredevil's way, just grabbing shit from a random desk and tossing it. Bullseye takes it to the roof where he has Elektra's size already there planted, and he's like, damn, it means so much more if you were Matt Murdock, because then I'd be using your lady's weapons against you. But he doesn't realize he actually is. Matt is fighting against Bullseye, who's using the weapons of his dead lover. And Matt is quiet here. This is all intense focus. My man takes the baton, tosses it at Bullseye, who blocks it. Then he slips under Bullseye just to kick him in the face. Look at the fucking finesse of this move. The fight IQ and technique is just too good. He cracks Bullseye across the face, then just spears him off the building. They crash through a building into an apartment complex stairwell, and we see Bullseye has stabbed Daredevil in the abdomen with that sai. Daredevil takes that shit out and launches a right at Bullseye's head, but misses, hits a window instead. Bullseye then kicks Daredevil through that window outside, and he lands on some train tracks, an elevated train track. Bullseye jumps down to that subway track, and now they're fighting on this high plateau. Daredevil kicks dude in the guts, and there's a subway coming right at them. This is a wild New York fight. They are fighting all over. Bullseye used the sides to hook onto the subway and flip up to the top to meet Daredevil there. He lunges in at Daredevil, trying to stab him with the sides, but Daredevil grabs him, holds him up, and then they just toss over the train, and they're falling now. And they both land on these guy wires, and they pull themselves up to stand on top of them. And in a genius move, Daredevil just jumps and lands back on the wire, which upsets Bullseye's balance and causes him to fall, but Daredevil grabs him by the wrist. And now they're in the same position again, where Daredevil has Bullseye's life in his hands, and Bullseye is saying, no, you're not going to save me like before. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. And Daredevil tells Bullseye, you're not going to kill anyone ever again. And he lets him go. Bullseye falls and lands on his neck. And it's important to note that he was going to stab Matt, but Matt chose to let him go. This isn't a small fall. This is a fall from high up that could kill a man. But we turn the page and see Bullseye's still alive. He's in a hospital, bandaged up. And remember the last words Daredevil said to him, the only words he said to him in that fight: you'll kill no one ever again. Bullseye is laid up in that hospital bed like, don't bet on it. And he's thinking to himself, okay, Kingpin probably heard what happened, and he's already looking for a new hitman to replace me and Elektra. Oh yeah, that's right. Elektra. Ooh, I didn't get you this time, but I got her. I got her though. This is how you see this man's a fucking sicko, because he's like, I wish she was yours. I wish you were staring long nights into the ceiling thinking about her being gone. But you can't win them all. Meanwhile, there's your buddy, Matt Murdock, who helped you beat me. I wonder how he feels. Not knowing all the while Daredevil and Matt Murdock are the same. That hurt he wanted to inflict on them, he did. And this is hurt that would not have existed if Daredevil left that man on the train tracks to die. And Bullseye is still talking cash shit. He's like, no, there's gonna be a next time. I'm gonna kill you. Prison couldn't hold me, and neither will this prison that you made out of my body. And it's here that we find out that Bullseye's spine is shattered. He can't even feel his arms. He can't even talk. Bullseye can't do a damn thing but hate. And he's like, oh, God, do I hate you. And I don't care how long it takes, how many years, how many months. I'm going to put myself back together and come see you again. I'm going to come at you again. Just you wait. But Bullseye doesn't realize he doesn't have to wait long, because Daredevil comes for him. Daredevil comes to see Bullseye in the hospital, and we see an entirely different side of not only Matt Murdock, but what happens when you push a hero to the brink.